Hi everybody. During I'm just putting the agenda of our life today so that we all can be on same page. Hi Sameer. So today I'm coming live with one of the prominent journalists of the country. He is managing editor at Digit. So we'll be talking about how technology has been the savior during pandemic. Let me just add him. Second. I hope just added him. Hi Sameer, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good here. How's life treating you with the pandemic? Second strain of pandemic.
Well, we were working from home. We tried to get back to office for a little bit, but now we've gone back to working from home. So that's what the situation is right now.
I think Sameer, I think 2020 has been really hard for each one of us, and with technology, that what we are planning to talk about today has been playing a tremendous role in our own like whether it's about working from home, whether teaching our parents how technology has united each one of us together. So let's just start the conversation with how we have begun our IT management. We were working from home, during the whole year. I think it's been more than a year now.
Yeah.
So and the backdrop,
So it,
we used to hear how parents used to give us an environment where the evidence that we always come forward with. So how was your experience during the pandemic?
So
Working
when
from
it
home.
comes to being your own IT manager and working from home, I am a technology journalist. So for me, I think the job is like 95% easier if my laptop is not working or if, something goes wrong. But uh, first of all, we've seen a surge in a lot of people wanting to upgrade their hardware, offices giving budgets for people to buy new laptops. So that was one
Yeah.
thing that helped. And we've also seen a lot of people who have set up remote IT management, even a lot of brands. Let's look at it from a consumer perspective, okay? So I have a Dyson vacuum cleaner, for example, and it stopped
Okay.
working. And the one thing that was most important was my vacuum cleaner needed to work because we're cleaning our houses on our own. And when I called them up,
Yeah.
and whether my product was in warranty or was not, they couriered the part to me at home. And one of their engineers got on a video call and he walked me through the process of repairing the device myself.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it. That's one really great example of how a lot of brands are changing their way of we will try our
After
best to
change
serve.
services and how they were. Okay.
Yeah, so servicing your devices remotely, right? And despite that, even if something went wrong, like my dog bit the display of my AC remote, right? So the display wasn't working and I needed to have the AC remote, and going out to buy a new one or getting the replacement model wasn't easy. And I just opened a YouTube video which actually showed me how to reset the remote control properly and what four buttons did what function. So, a lot of people, I think, increase their knowledge. Even my mom would, for example, call me up and be like, Beta, the Fire TV stick is not working. Is it the internet or do I need to do something? And I'm like, hang on, let me video call you and see what the problem is. So I'm
Yeah.
from something as simple as that to something as complicated as repairing a vacuum cleaner. I think this was a challenging and more importantly an educating time for everyone with the technology that they used to.
I highly agree on this. I highly agree on this. And even in these challenging times, I understand, when we were at home, because of the advancement of technology, I think it has become easier for each one of us. Because I remember when a pandemic recently happened in 2020, we had a Zoom meeting call within our family. And everyone from all over India, wherever everybody is across the globe, we were talking. And because of the advancement, I feel like we were united, you know. So how has been like, how spending more time in home and, my consumption of OTT platforms has become great so much that I was learning some artistic stuff from YouTube. How it was been your side apart from technology, Samir? I would like to know. do you have some hobby, or you got some binge watching or something you have done so far? So it would
So,
be
yeah,
yeah.
so the first most important thing is at least we are fortunate enough to be in a business where work from home is an option. I mean, when the lockdown and all started in 2020, I have a college friend who actually finished hotel management, took a loan, and started a cafe in Pune, and he had to
Mhm.
shut it down. So many people who were into, the people that like I have a guy who is my on-call taxi guy because he's been with my family for a very long time. When my grandfather stopped driving, he used to drive my grandfather around. So there were so many
Mhm.
people who we met who, lost their jobs and livelihood, and, you had to kind of figure out a way to help them out. So the first and most important thing is being fortunate enough to have a job where work from home is a possibility. Uh,
Yes.
so,
Sorry.
keeping that trajectory going, there were a lot of things that have happened in our the way we have progressed as a society, because everybody compares what's happening right now to the pandemic which happened during the Spanish flu, and over there no one knew anything. I mean, there was not
Yes,
enough
exactly.
medical advancements were not as great to give people the medical aid that they needed. And today it has changed completely, right? I mean, there was this really cool story on the news I saw where these two kids made an app where people could come and donate things, or come to a certain point in the community to donate things for help to the less fortunate people. So I think
Yeah.
the way technology started to help people at the grassroots level to whatever extent that it could,
Mhm.
and then moving up. So be it my maid, be it my dhobi, from a personal perspective, or anyone else that I needed to help, I could pay them online or through a service like Paytm or Google Pay. Something as simple as that started gaining more value than it did during demonetization,
Yeah,
right?
and even these college students have started studying online. They have hold these inaugurating orientation sessions. How you think about that?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So my mom is the principal of a college, right? So this is a great example. Is even though people were working from home, the biggest hurdle that, let's say, my mom's teachers faced was that not all of them had internet at home. Some of them didn't even have, let's say, your tethering from your phone couldn't work. A lot of them weren't capable enough to handle their own IT problems. So it was set up in such a way that the teachers would come to college. The college had the internet infrastructure, it had an IT person there, and the teacher was sitting all alone in her classroom with her presentation, teaching the students at home. So while there are a lot of teachers who had the ability to take their classes online, be it on Zoom or, through any other app that they were using, even the
Mhm.
institutes reworked their infrastructure so that it was safe for the teacher to come to college and or school and teach from there, ensuring that an infrastructure level problem doesn't happen from something as simple as power backup. So
Exactly.
while there is a lot of the population that will look at things like, अरे हमारे पास inverter है, power backup है, बहुत कुछ है, but there are
Mhm.
but that's what I'm saying. The advancement in technology from the grassroots perspective has been so wide to help things commute. I mean, even my domestic helps children, for example, were studying because I could give them a phone I had lying around simply because अच्छा तुम online classes देख लो, ये रहा तुम्हारा recharge internet का, you know.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
while everything, and for people like us, of course, the people who can afford to spend a little more money during times like this, the people who can, it has been great learning experience and an investing experience. So for us as a publication, as Digit, we have helped a lot of people spend a lot of money to buy new home theaters because you can't go to an IMAX anymore. We've had a
Yeah.
lot of people talk about, I need a second tablet or a laptop. My 4 children at home are, I need 4 computers all of a sudden for them to go to
For
school.
toddlers as well. I have a little toddler at home, so he needs to see something and watch his classes and joining from So I think this makes
Yeah, yeah.
the
My 2-year-old
essentiality.
nephew, my 2-year-old nephew is
Same
going to
here.
his play school twice a week on his computer. And the school is sending this package home where it has his art and craft and whatever is the activity of the
New
week or
homework and
active.
everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, if you look at it from a bird's eye view, it is only because of the advancements in technologies that you can speak to your cousins or relatives who are sitting in
Absolutely.
Canada or in a different city
Absolutely.
locally and
Hmm.
interact like this. I mean, you and I would probably meet like once a month at an event somewhere, something, and now it's
Yeah.
because it's because of
Or
technology
something
that we
related
can.
to a news, you have to put something about LG or Canon.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
completely remember. Yeah. So I
So
think, Sameer, this has been a journey, and I have even read a lot of news that a lot of companies have given a privilege to these employees to work from home on for a lifetime basis. They have changed their policies. What are your thoughts on this?
So, from me personally, very selfishly speaking, it works because then for someone like me, I'm an early bird. I wake up at 5:36 in the morning, so I can literally be on my desk at 8 in the morning, and those 2 hours from 8 to 10, I can really work a lot before,
Mm-hmm.
team meetings start and I have to plan people's lives and figure out what's happening. And then post
Mm-hmm.
lunch, maybe at 2 o'clock, I can take a nap for 1 hour because I've delegated enough work. So, and in the evening, it's easier for me to, either shut office at 6, 7, 5, depending on my work getting done. It's more about focusing on getting the job done. It's no longer on clocking in and clocking out. But then again, there are
Mm-hmm.
the other side of the coin where I've heard a lot of people where a friend of mine is working for a firm where if you're logged in from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., which is your shift, they have access to your webcam so they can see that you're actually on your desk and working, you know.
Yes, yes, it is
So,
happening more on IT side of companies. Yeah, they have developed
yeah,
this kind
so
of, yeah.
So I mean, I completely understand that somebody might, slack a little bit, but then that's exactly when you go to office, you meet in the coffee room or your break room or the coffee machine to chat for 15, 20 minutes, right? I mean, every day you meet people in
But
office also. So
any
I
which
think that's
ways,
a
I
little
mean,
too. Hmm.
any which ways, I mean, I don't think like for 8 hours. For example, we work for 8 hours, but we cannot be a very productive whole in the 8 hours, right? It is somewhere,
True, true, true.
it for some people it's like a boundage. They cannot just leave the computer. In 15 minutes the screen will get off. That's how they've been monitored, which is quite in a con side. Also, Samir, we used to always heard about that science fictitious, has become now scientific fictions and become reality now. When we see we were in like we I remember 20th March or 21st March 2020. We didn't know this is gonna be our revelation, or the kind of year that we never thought it will come, and the kind of fantasies we used to see, the scientific movies and all, and now it is coming into reality. How you think about it, in the end, when we should conclude this conversation?
Well, I would think that everyone should open Amazon Prime and watch Contagion, which is a
Which one? Which
representation. The movie Contagion, it is literally about what would happen if a pandemic hit the world. And I unfortunately saw the movie at the heat of the pandemic, which was in April, and I completely freaked out. But fortunately, it has a happy ending. Spoiler. No, but apart from that, I think that work from home has actually changed a lot of people's lives in ways where they will now understand the difference between being productive and being attentive. I think the most
exactly?
important conclusion to take from that is throughout the year of 2020, I feel personally, and I know a lot of people who have been more productive at work by spending less number of hours working because there is no distraction, there is no gossip, there is no traveling, there is no
And
one.
there's an ambience they have themselves created. They don't
True.
need to, follow somewhere, or, just copy and see other people talking or stuff like that. Because I completely feel like whenever I am there in my personal space, I'm more productive. I'm more, creative my side. So maybe experimenting our creative side. That's what we have done. I have done. Oh, how about you? I just want to know, like, do you did some painting or something? Because I have done that. I have explored my that side apart from work. I have that garden area and everything.
Yeah, so
Just
I
curious.
fortunately, my hobby was always an indoor hobby, which was entertainment and gaming. So
Mm-hmm.
be it whether people were stepping out or not, my weekends were usually spent in front of a screen, either binge watching something with my wife or playing a new game on, my TV. I fortunately upgraded my home theater setup last year itself, so I was pretty sorted for the lockdown to have the whole cinematic
Well, that's
experience
great.
at home. Yeah, so
That's
for
that's great.
so for me, I was fortunate enough to have a hobby which kept me indoors even before we were forced to be indoors.
And your hobby was resonating to the kind of situation we were in. So we are in, actually. So I think, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The beauty of it was my friends would come home and we would play video games together over the weekend. And now we just did this over the internet and talking through our headphones and mics. So, it It was different, but we still stayed in touch. So.
Oh, thank you so much, Sameer, for your time. And it's such a privilege for me to, I've reached out to you and you were so kind enough to just come live with me. It's a privilege for me to, have you on the live session. Thank you so much for accepting my request and, just have this conversation. It was really, really informative. And as I said to you as well, I'm trying, and a conscious effort is there to have a like-minded conversation over social media platform like Instagram, where people are comparing their life and people are somewhere mimicking each other's life, which is somewhere taking a toll on their mental health, and to exactly compartmentalize them when it comes to their hobbies or when it comes to their creative side. So this is what my agenda was. Thank you so much for fulfilling that.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.